August 2nd, 2016, Queens, New York. The sun was setting on a quiet summer evening when 30-year-old Karina Vetrano left home for a simple jog. A routine run, a familiar path, a normal night. But inside the isolated trails of Spring Creek Park, something went terribly wrong. Karina never came back, and soon, an entire city was searching for answers. A safe neighborhood turned into a crime scene, and a peaceful evening became a nightmare no one saw coming. Before we begin, please like this video, subscribe to Crime Shadows here, and comment below which country you're watching from. Let's uncover the truth together. Karina Vetrano was a vibrant 30-year-old woman living in the quiet neighborhood of Howard Beach in Queens, New York. She was known by friends, family, and co-workers as energetic, intelligent, and deeply compassionate, someone who brought warmth and positivity wherever she went. Karina earned her master's degree from St. John's University, where she dedicated herself to helping others through education and communication. She worked professionally as a speech pathologist in Manhattan, supporting children and individuals who struggled with speech and language challenges. Colleagues described her as patient, caring, and passionate about making a difference in people's lives. Family was at the center of Karina's world. She shared an especially close bond with her father, Phil Vetrano, a retired New York City firefighter. The two spent significant time together, often jogging side by side through nearby parks and neighborhood streets. Running wasn't just exercise for Karina, it was a shared ritual that strengthened their relationship and gave them moments of peace away from busy city life. Friends remembered Karina as adventurous and full of energy. She loved fitness, nature, and spending time outdoors, but she was equally known for her kindness and empathy toward others. Those who knew her often said she had a contagious smile and a genuine ability to make people feel comfortable and valued. To everyone around her, Karina represented ambition, compassion, and joy, a young professional building a meaningful life, surrounded by family love and promising opportunities ahead. On August 2nd, 2016, the evening began like any other summer day for Karina Vetrano. Around 5 p.m., she decided to go for a run near her home in Howard Beach, Queens, something she often did to relax and stay active. Normally, Karina ran alongside her father, Phil Vetrano, a retired firefighter who shared her passion for fitness. That evening, however, he couldn't join her. Before she left, he expressed concern about her running alone, especially near the isolated trails of Spring Creek Park, an area known for its overgrown paths and limited visibility. Despite his worries, Karina reassured him she would be fine. Just before heading out, Karina took a casual selfie, a simple moment that would later become one of the last images of her alive. She left home dressed for her run, expecting to return shortly. But as time passed, something felt wrong. An hour went by, then two. Karina still hadn't returned home. Her father's concern quickly turned into panic. Calls and messages went unanswered, completely unlike her. Realizing this was not normal behavior, he contacted the New York City Police Department to report her missing. Within hours, a massive search operation began. Officers, K-9 units, helicopters, and volunteers flooded the area, combing through fields, trails, and wooded sections of the park. What started as a missing person report quickly became a desperate race against time as family, police, and the community searched for answers before nightfall. As the search intensified, the worst fears soon became reality. Around 10:30 p.m. on August 2nd, 2016, officers searching near Spring Creek Park made a heartbreaking discovery. The body of Karina Vetrano was found approximately 15 feet off a narrow running trail, partially concealed within tall grass and dense vegetation. Investigators immediately noticed clear signs of a violent struggle at the scene. Evidence indicated that Karina had fought desperately against her attacker. Authorities later confirmed she had been sexually assaulted before being strangled to death. The crime scene was described by investigators as extremely intense and emotionally difficult even for experienced officers. The peaceful park instantly transformed into a major homicide investigation, sending shockwaves throughout Queens and beyond. The brutal nature of the crime triggered widespread fear across New York City. The New York City Police Department expanded its investigation, increasing patrols and deploying additional detectives to the area. Because parts of the land were federally owned, the Federal Bureau of Investigation joined the case, bringing advanced forensic and behavioral resources. Crime scene technicians collected DNA evidence and developed a genetic profile of the unknown attacker. Despite the strong forensic evidence, early database searches produced no immediate match, leaving investigators without a suspect. Yet despite massive media coverage, public tips, and intense investigative efforts, the killer remained unidentified and fear continued to grow as residents realized the attacker was still freed at I. In the weeks following the murder of Karina Vetrano, investigators worked urgently to identify a suspect. Detectives from the New York City Police Department followed every possible lead, knowing the violent offender remained at large. Police also searched nearby homeless encampments and questioned individuals living close to Spring Creek Park, but no evidence connected them to the crime. Registered sex offenders in the surrounding area were interviewed and investigated, yet none matched the DNA profile recovered from the scene. Investigators released a composite sketch of a possible person of interest, a man reportedly seen wearing a wool hat near the park around the time Karina disappeared. Public tips flooded in, leading police to question multiple individuals, including a man named Kevin who briefly drew attention. However, DNA testing ultimately excluded him as well. As months passed without an arrest, Karina's father, Phil Vetrano, became a strong public advocate for advanced investigative methods that he urged authorities to use familial DNA searching, a technique that identifies suspects through genetic relatives already listed in criminal databases. The proposal sparked national debate. Civil liberties groups raised concerns about privacy and genetic surveillance, while supporters argued it could prevent dangerous offenders from remaining free. Although New York State initially resisted the method, growing public pressure and high-profile cases eventually led officials to approve familial DNA searching. Ironically, the policy change came after investigators had already identified and arrested the suspect through other investigative work, but the debate surrounding Karina's case helped shape future forensic practices across the state. After months of stalled investigation, a breakthrough finally came in early 2017. Lieutenant John Russo recalled a suspicious encounter from the previous year and identified a man named Chanel Lewis as a potential person of interest. Lewis voluntarily provided a DNA sample, which investigators quickly matched to the genetic material recovered from under Karina Vetrano's fingernails, a key piece of evidence linking him directly to the violent struggle. Additional forensic findings strengthened the case. A fragment of Karina's tooth was found embedded in an injury on Lewis's hand, suggesting a direct confrontation during the attack. Police obtained a video-recorded confession from Lewis, in which he admitted to attacking and killing Karina. This confession, combined with forensic evidence, gave prosecutors the foundation to move forward. Chanel Lewis was formally arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Authorities also filed 13 additional counts, including sexual abuse and tampering with evidence. Lewis initially pleaded not guilty, with his legal team citing mental health concerns. His family publicly defended him, claiming his confession had been coerced and that he was vulnerable during police questioning. The prosecution relied heavily on DNA evidence and Lewis's confession, while the defense argued that the confession was coerced and that the crime scene had been contaminated. After extensive deliberations, the jury was unable to reach a unanimous decision, resulting in a mistrial. In the 2019 retrial, prosecutors presented new evidence, including Lewis's search history and digital activity, which reinforced premeditation and intent. Following careful consideration, the jury deliberated and on April 1, 2019, returned a guilty verdict, bringing justice for Karina Vetrano after nearly 3 years of anguish for her family and the community. Following the 2019 guilty verdict, Chanel Lewis was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus an additional 32 years for the related charges, ensuring he would never be free again. During the hearing, emotional victim impact statements were delivered by Karina's family, highlighting the profound loss and the lasting pain inflicted by his actions. Lewis continued to maintain his innocence throughout the proceedings, refusing to fully acknowledge responsibility. Even after sentencing, the case remained a focal point of public debate. Claims of juror misconduct surfaced, along with allegations of racial profiling during the investigation and trial. Appeals were filed by Lewis's legal team, prolonging the legal battle. Discussions about fairness, justice, and systemic issues continued across media and community forums, keeping the case in the public eye and sparking conversations about law enforcement practices. Karina Vetrano's memory lives on through multiple initiatives. Scholarships were established in her name to support education, reflecting her compassion and love of learning. A memorial was created at Spring Creek Park, the location where her life was tragically taken, becoming a place of remembrance and reflection. Her father, Phil Vetrano, visits the site daily, maintaining a personal tribute and keeping her spirit alive in the community. Karina's story continues to inspire awareness about personal safety, the importance of community vigilance, and the enduring legacy of a young life tragically cut short. Support Karina's legacy, like, subscribe, and share this story. Comment your country below and stay tuned with Crime Shadows here for more true crime investigations and justice stories.